think about that for a moment. So you've got the hard right and the hard militant left and the religious right all in the same group, Jesus' disciples. How many of our churches reflect that kind of diversity of ideology? No, because Matt, you're a pastor, and if I go to your church and I don't agree with you, you're going to kick me out, aren't you? No, I'm just kidding. Matt's not going to do that. But there are churches, right? If you can't sign the paper, you're not going to be allowed to, become a member. So just to look, for instance, that this, and fortunately I inherited this. I didn't come in with this mentality. I inherited this mentality with the church I work at. We just don't do politics from the pulpit. We talk about Jesus, and then there's implications for how we follow Jesus that might influence our politics, but we don't do the whole, political thing from the pulpit. Why? Because we've got those people in our pews. We've got the tax collector and the zealot and the fisherman in our pews, and we're encouraging everyone to follow Jesus. All right. Jesus was happy to welcome a zealot and a tax collector and a fisherman and a bunch of other guys into his following. And I'm going to make another bold statement. If our tribes and our churches don't reflect that kind of ideological diversity, we're not really patterned after Jesus. As much as we might say we are and want to mean it. All right. Now let's talk about the flip side of that, because Jesus called those people to follow him, but he also calls his followers to be changed into his likeness, not ours. So I'm not going to go to Matt's church and have Matt change me into another version of himself, and I know Matt wouldn't want to do that. But we do that in churches, right? I mean, how many of you, when you got saved, thought you had to start voting Republican if you didn't already? Or liberal or Democrat if you're on the other side, right? That's not the point. But Jesus can say to Peter, come and follow me, and later on say to the same Peter, put away your sword. He can pick up the man's ear and put it back on because Peter was taking his devotion to Christ down the wrong path. Right? He can tell the tax collector, like John the Baptist told them, stop cheating people. You want to come and follow me? Come and follow me. I'll accept you as you are, but you got to stop robbing people. Take only what you actually need for their taxes. He can tell the zealot, my kingdom is not of this world. If it were, we'd just go overthrow the oppressors, but that's not what my kingdom is about. There's a lot of talk these days about Jesus flipping the tables. That's become like a popular phrase, which I love, because I love getting people talking about the Bible and stuff. But one thing I've noticed is that when we talk about flipping tables, we're always talking about flipping somebody else's table. How often do we ask the Lord, flip my tables? Whatever it is. Now, in that story, it's about, profiting off of, the religious sacrifices and things like that. But, what are the other ways that we maybe profit off of our religion? Not just financially, but, in what sense do I need to let the Lord overthrow my obsession with power, for instance, or influence, or whatever it is? That flipping tables is always out there. Do we ask Jesus to flip the tables of my tribe, my side in the argument, my own heart? Maybe we could ask it this way. If you're looking for like a more of a devotional question to think about, what patterns, what behaviors, what toxic thinking, what sinful patterns does Jesus want to speak into in my life to revolutionize and change me into becoming more like him? And am I open to allowing him to criticize my side of the aisle, not just their side of the aisle?